want freedom!
We want freedom!
We want human rights!
We want human rights!
We want freedom!
We want freedom!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Free, free Libya!
Free, free Libya!
Well, Queenslanders, if you can give us some of your time, Eunice has something to say to you.
Yes.
One of your fellow Queenslanders, just 5 or 10 minutes of your time.
Okay, the demonstration statement. The Libyan community in Australia is deeply concerned and distressed by the situation in Libya and the war crimes and atrocities that have been committed by the Gaddafi dictatorship since February 15, 2011 in all of Libya's towns and cities. After popular movements overturned the rulers of Tunisia and Egypt, the Libyan people launched a peaceful revolution on February 17th, calling for freedom and democracy. Muammar Gaddafi, however, has made the situation extremely difficult and terrifying. Gaddafi's forces, including mercenaries, are raping Libyan women accused of supporting the democratic movement. Young children have been shot, thousands have been killed, hospitals are being shelled, doctors are being shot at, and thousands of families are fleeing to the Tunisian border as refugees because of the heavy bombardment by Gaddafi's forces.
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Free, free Libya!
Free, free Libya!
Free, free Libya!
Free, free Libya!
We advise the international community that Gaddafi has committed crimes against the Geneva Convention and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The situation in Libya has escalated even further, with the Gaddafi regime continuing to bombard the cities of Mizrata, Zintan, Rishban, Nalut and Yefren with Grad missiles and other heavy artillery. Mizrata and Zintan are currently under siege of Gaddafi's forces for more than 6 weeks. Gaddafi's forces have pounded these cities with bombs and
Save civilians now!
Save civilians now!
Save civilians now!
Save civilians now!
Hey, hey ho! Gaddafi must go!
Hey, hey, hey ho! Gaddafi must go! Hey, hey, hey ho! Gaddafi must go!
Julia must know! Gaddafi must go! Julia must know! Gaddafi must go!
Julia must know! Gaddafi must go!
Julia must know!
Gaddafi must go! Julia must
and
go!
has even
Gaddafi
destroyed
must
clinics
go!
and hospitals. Electricity, water and all forms of communications have been cut. Thousands have been killed and many more have been injured. The people in Mizrata and the Nafusa mountains are facing a worsening humanitarian crisis and they need urgent support in these difficult times. On the 19th of March 2011, the international community through the United Nations Security Council has issued the resolution number 1973 to protecting civilians and civilian inhabited areas against the threat of Gaddafi's attacks. NATO took over the air operations from a coalition of the United States of America, Britain and France on March 31st. However, we've begun to realize that NATO has not been doing enough to protect civilians on the ground. Libyan people are now calling for freedom and dignity, and we are all saying that enough is enough for Muammar Gaddafi and his family, and they must not rule our country any longer. 42 long years of dictatorship, oppression, brutality and tyranny must end as soon as possible. We all say yes to a constitution, democracy, freedom, civil society, justice and human rights. We all say yes to liberating Libya from the hands of this tyrant who is interested only in exploiting our people and the wealth of our country. The estimated 30,000 killed, 35,000 wounded, 20,000 kidnapped and hundreds raped by Gaddafi's forces require from us to take the initiative to work on the liberation of Libya from such a criminal and illegitimate rule. As a result, the National Transitional Council was formed by leading figures from all the regions of Libya on the 27th of February 2011 to act as the political face of the revolution. This Transitional National Council announced its official establishment on the 5th of March 2011 in the second largest city of Benghazi. The Libyan people have considered the council as the sole legitimate representative
يا معمر يا ابو شفشوفه الشعب الليبي وسع خوفه
معمر يا ابو شفشوفه
الشعب الليبي وسع خوفه
يا معمر يا ابو شفشوفه الشعب الليبي وسع خوفه
يا معمر يا ابو موسى شوفه
الشعب الليبي والدحومة
موسى شوفه مكملة
Gaddafi must go. Australia must know. Gaddafi must go.
The world must know Gaddafi must go
The world must know.
Gaddafi must go
The world must know.
Gaddafi must go
Internationally, the National Transitional Council in Libya gained explicit recognition from the International Contact Group on Libya when it convened on April the 13th in Qatar. It has also been officially recognized by the nations of France, Qatar, Maldives, Italy, Kuwait and Gambia. Several other countries also sought to establish unofficial diplomatic ties with the National Transitional Council. Expanding the recognition of the National Transitional Council would help to release Libyan money frozen overseas, free up money in Libyan bank accounts abroad, and give the ability to import basic commodities and other goods. Siding with truly democratic nations is a vital factor in spreading freedom all over the globe. Therefore, we the Libyan community here in Australia are calling for the Australian federal government to recognise the National Transitional Council in Libya.
We need Australian support.
We need Israeli support. We need.
Gaddafi must go
Australia must know.
Gaddafi must go
Australia must know.
Gaddafi must go
Australia must know.
Gaddafi must go
The world must know.
Gaddafi must go. Julia has to know. Gaddafi has to go.
Julia has to know
Gaddafi has to go.
Julia has to know
Gaddafi has to go.
Georgia has to know.
Gaddafi must go
Okay, where was I? Okay. Therefore, we the Libyan community in Australia are calling for the Australian federal government to recognise the National Transitional Council in Libya as the sole legitimate representative of the Libyan people, and calling for the government to support the council politically, militarily and economically. We the Libyan people want to say that we are seeking freedom just like all other ordinary Australians, and we should also have the right to freedom and dignity and the right to choose our own representatives.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, in today's demonstration, the Libyan community in Australia is calling for the following demands. Number one, the Australian federal government must recognise the National Transitional Council in Libya as the sole legitimate representative of the Libyan people, and that the Australian government should be able to support the National Transitional Council politically, militarily and economically. Number two, the never-ending call for Muammar Gaddafi and his family and his associates to step down and leave Libya for the Libyans.
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
Down, down, Gaddafi!
We want freedom!
We want freedom!
We want democracy!
We want democracy!
We want democracy!
We want democracy!
And to face trial in the International Criminal Court for crimes which they committed against humanity. And number three, final point, the call for NATO to be more efficient in the coordination of their airstrikes on Gaddafi forces targets, and better cooperation with the ground forces under the command of the National Transitional Council, which are fighting to liberate all of Libya's regions, towns and cities. And may peace and God's mercy and blessings be upon all of you. Long live Libya!
Long live Libya!
Free and dignified! Thank you very much.
Free, free Libya!